I could totally see this happening soon.
How you doing? We got a four-piece chicken McNuggets. I got hairy legs, turn blonde in the summer. Little kids, disadvantaged, call them roaches. They come up and rub. That's okay.
You want barbecue sauce? $9.35.
Thank you. You don't vote for me, you ain't black.
As I don't think it's going to work out as good as it did for Donald Trump, as it's probably going to take more than just a Happy Meal to satisfy Biden's needs and hunger, as his predecessor isn't doing too well in the polls right now. As, of course, her larger PR stunts don't really land as much as her opponents do.
I know you want those.
You see corn nuts over there,
Isn't this
Tim?
it?
Yeah, that's
the big. There you go. That's funny.
Wow, how natural. As, of course, everyone today is talking about Trump being at McDonald's, as he specifically did this stunt to criticize and make fun of Kamala Harris, who previously said she worked at McDonald's, which a lot of people contend and say there's actually no record of, as the corporate media is having an absolute meltdown over this very specific moment with Donald Trump flipping the fries here. Now, if he changes that seed oil, canola oil, high omega-6 heart disease causing slop into tallow like McDonald's used to do before, I think he has the selection in the bag here. But so far, I haven't seen him kind of address this larger, very important issue. As, of course, there's a lot of underhanded things going up against him, including, of course, a lot of foul play from the corporate media, as NBC is slammed today for doing an entire segment on Taylor Swift and only talking about Donald Trump in passing really quickly. As it definitely does look like Kamala is relying on a lot of her celebrity endorsement in order to get the general public to go vote for her. And a lot of those celebrities don't have the best record there, as of course they have a checkered past. As of course we'll be talking about them in a little bit, as one of the biggest campaigners for the Democratic political party now is in major hot water. That of course being Sean P. Diddy Combs, that according to investigators now was changing his name in order not to be legally held accountable for all of his atrocious actions that he is now being accused of. As the latest that we get from this very important case surrounding a man connected to the Clintons, to the Obamas, to the DNC, to, of course, the corporate music industry that has spewed nonsense and degeneracy to the youth for many years on end now, is that this billionaire now is facing 7 new accusers with new lawsuits that are coming out and saying some really horrendous, awful things about this man. That literally was the face of the voting effort under the Barack Obama campaign. As Newsweek writes that these new allegations are, quote, shocking. And looking at them, yeah, they absolutely are. As of course, there's a lot of different kind of crossover here with particular individuals, but also particular instances and activities that are also very similar to what happened with Mr. Jeffrey Epstein, another man connected to the intel agencies and the establishment and the corporate media and the entertainment industry that, of course, was able to do some really horrible, awful things to small children and then still be kind of promoted and highlighted as some kind of philanthropist by the corporate media. I'm looking at you, VH1. As these 7 new accusers that just filed a lawsuit in New York are going after him for some hanky-panky private time assault allegations that are connected to his trafficking case here. As specifically, these accusers are talking about being drugged and then performing adult acts while being completely disoriented and under the influence of drugs that in many instances they didn't voluntarily take, allegedly. These new allegations are coming from the year 2000 to 2022, as the youngest victim in this case is 13 years of age when they were, quote, abused. As now there is a group of 120 accusers that have come forward that are being represented by a Texas-based attorney, Tony Bosby, who came out and made the allegation that the baby oil that was used by Sean P. Diddy Combs was laced with GHB, a substance that is known to, of course, take people out. And when they're taken out and disoriented and unable to be of sound mind and body, that's when allegedly P. Diddy became the predator that he was, and behind the scenes at his larger kind of freak-off parties, took advantage of these individuals in many kind of heinous, destructive, and nasty, disgusting ways. As of course, Combs was arrested and charged on a 3-count indictment, specifically with racketeering, conspiracy, trafficking, and transporting in order to engage in prostitution, which of course he pleaded not guilty to, and his legal team right now is currently denying any wrongdoing. His trial date is set for May 5th, 2025, and reading through some of these court documents, the 13-year-old also alleges that she was, of course, given an NDA to sign, tried to, of course, go to the VMAs, was invited to the after party, was given a substance, and then found dazed, disoriented, and confused as she was assaulted and attacked by Diddy, to the point where she literally ran through the house with no clothes on, trying to escape the assaults and attacks that were taking place against her by Diddy and many of his celebrity friends here. As she reports, literally running to a local gas station where a female clerk noticed her in trouble and then allowed her to call her father, who showed up and then picked her up from, of course, these Diddy freak-off parties. And again, lots of really weird stuff that a lot of people are correlating. A lot of people are kind of stringing together, especially when it comes to the very strange statements and kind of behavior that has been exhibited by Diddy for a very long time, as a lot of people are describing a lot of really weird activities that have been happening behind the scenes here that, in my opinion, deserve some scrutiny. As another allegation reads, that a man passed out at one of his party was, quote, used like a party favor and literally passed around to a lot of the celebrity and high-profile guests that were in attendance in his parties. As he describes being used by multiple other people at the party for their own gratification, as there's a lot of reports of celebrities sitting back and watching all of this kind of unfold here. Who were the 2 other celebrities that still haven't been publicly named here? Well, we will be waiting to find out here, as of course Diddy hung out with almost everyone that was very prominent in the industry, including of course Naomi Campbell, that was connected to of course Ghislaine Maxwell, the larger pimp for Jeffrey Epstein, that was the one procuring children for him. And these allegations are very severe, and they do kind of describe, in my kind of larger extrapolation here, larger kind of demonic evil forces and energies at play here, as many of these victims also allege that Diddy had a very crazed look in his eyes. Now, with Diddy being gone and not being able to be there on the campaign trail like he usually is for the Obamas and the Clintons, of course, we got Lizzo that took the role for Kamala Harris, as she boarded a private jet in order to campaign for Kamala Harris, as the body positivity expert here described herself as a bad bee that is going to save a democracy.
This is how a bad bitch saves democracy. You hoes couldn't even spell democracy. Ha!
Wow, yeah, that definitely appeals to the common person that's finding it difficult to make ends meet under the Bidenomics Build Back Better policies, as this should definitely motivate the working class. As she even came out and warned that the whole country will be like Detroit if Kamala wins. Yeah, you heard that correctly. That's literally what she said.
I'm so proud to be from this city. You know, they say if Kamala wins, then the whole country will be like Detroit. Okay? Proud like Detroit. Resilient like Detroit.
And also run down, dilapidated, and filled with homeless crackheads everywhere, with a huge violent rising crime epidemic. That, of course, yeah. I mean, she didn't lie. Right? As it's also important to note here that Lizzo also faced allegations about harassment and unfair adult play by a lot of the people that she previously worked with as well. As a lot of what happens in Hollywood usually is a big kind of open secret to everyone, as 50 Cent literally is defending being vocal about Diddy and his alleged abuse and parties for, quote, 10 years. As 50 Cent came out more like a prophet than anything else here, who clearly was firing a lot of shots in the right direction towards someone that a lot of people really didn't like. Now, of course, there's also a larger crossover here with Ghislaine Maxwell, with people being associated with each other, hanging out, partying, and probably doing a lot more than we know about. As, of course, when you look at the Diddy case, when you look at the Epstein case, we're still scratching the surface here. A lot of the tapes that have been confiscated by the FBI in both of these cases will never make the day of light. A lot of the people that have abused people on those particular photos and videos will, of course, be extorted by the Federal Bureau of Investigations and other intel agencies to do their bidding in exchange for this larger kind of extortion piece of information that they have on them now. This says today we're also finding out that Prince Andrew invited Ghislaine Maxwell and Jeffrey Epstein to Queen Elizabeth's Dance of the Decades at Windsor Castle in the year 2000, as now officially the Queen of England, the former Queen of England, partied it up with Jeffrey Epstein, as the royal family has a lot of very weird connections to a lot of child predators out there that have hurt people routinely. It's also important to note here that the FBI just has been stumped by this case, even though there's witnesses, even though there's accusers, even though there's people coming forward with documents and photos, and they have the tapes from all the vaults that they confiscated. The FBI, for some reason, isn't moving forward with any kind of larger investigation into Prince Andrew, as they are saying that their investigation has been parked until, quote, new evidence is presented in this case that moves forward. Will there be new evidence? Well, no. Again, as I described here, there's a larger extortion game happening here that is absolutely cruel and awful. And again, as an independent media organization, we've been talking about this case for 15 plus years, and we've been called crazy and insane for doing so. We, of course, raided Epstein's Island as well. You can see that video on our main YouTube channel, youtube.com/wearechange. And if you want to support our efforts, the best way to do that right now is to, of course, get value yourself by signing up to lookunfiltered.com, as I do, behind the scenes videos, not only giving you the behind the scenes dirt and what's really happening here at this independent media organization, but I give you specific tips. I give you specific information that you could act on for your own personal benefit during these larger kind of chaotic, crazy moments. I describe what I'm doing with my own health, with my own wealth, with my own personal well-being, my own personal kind of strategy. I share it with you. And then, of course, we do really cool things like meetups. We do things like nature hikes. And we, of course, expand this larger idea of being the change that you want to see in this world. Start that journey right now by signing up to lookunfiltered.com. We also have 3 master classes that are really fun to take, a forum to talk to like-minded members. We have seed oil cards. We have crap list of items you should avoid at the supermarket. And we have contests and giveaways. Members who have signed up have literally gotten tickets that were thousands of dollars to events just by signing up to lookunfiltered.com. The members will tell you, hey, I wanted to go to this event. I always make sure I secure extra tickets for my members, and any event that I'm at, I usually do a meetup, and I usually, of course, give free tickets to some random members who, of course, first come and say that they want tickets to these events through lookunfiltered.com. We're giving out a giveaway to some of our callers, as, of course, we return in just a few hours from now here on this YouTube channel, where, of course, members of lookunfiltered.com get to call in and be a part of the show. You call in for the first time, you get a free supplement from wearechange.shop. Sign up right now, lookunfiltered.com, and I will see you there with a special broadcast just available to you right after this video. And again, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys signing up. So signing up is more crucial than ever. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for you guys doing that. And this is why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on youtube.com/wearechange.